And this is the ultimate live podcast. We're live from Manchester. So let's see what I got here today. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. Trumpy. Trumpy. We're going to talk about Donald J. Trump. So what's happened with Mr. J. Trump? Oh, Donald J. Trump. Trump tries to command the narrative outside court. Trump tries to command the narrative. Inside, he can only sit in silence. There's a piece from The Independent. And let's see what it says. The city of New York is crime ridden and die, according to Donald Trump. He has called a criminal case against him a mess. The judge hopelessly conflicted and the prosecutor a thug. The former president attorney claims that the entire borough of Manhattan is overwhelmingly biased against him. But for 4 days, a few dozen of his fellow New Yorkers told him how they felt to his face, and there was nothing he could do about it. A jury of Mr. Trump's peers has been assembled to hear the first criminal trial of a current or former president who is charged with falsifying business records to conceal payment to an adult film star with whom he allegedly had an affair. Hiding those payments tried to protect his election. Hiding those payments try to protect his to protect his election prospect in 2016, the beginning of what has now become a year-long effort to deceive voters and manipulate the outcome of presidential election according to prosecutors. He loves his New York business, his New York real estate, and the New York media has his attention. But Mr. Trump, for years, now has become more Florida based, Florida man than the self anointed uh, bootstrapped Queens entrepreneur he propped himself up to be as he built his political persona. This week, the former president returned to New York as a reluctant resident of his hometown, watching the group of his Manhattan neighbor fill the jury box where a verdict against him could be delivered in a few weeks. The jurors live all over Manhattan with different professional background, gender, interests, and family lives, all have promised unlike Mr. Trump, to judge their fellow New Yorker fairly and impartially. When his attorney dug up prospective juror, all social media posts to try to weed out potential bias, Mr. Trump heard himself described as racist, sexist, and narcissist. Asked for her opinion of him, one juror to his face called him selfish and self serving. Another man called his policy outrageous. One man opinion of him is neutral, leaning hostile. Another said his rhetoric is harmful, and one woman said his rhetoric incites homophobia and racism. All he could do was sit and watch. He never looked comfortable. He rested his hands on his forehead with his elbow on the table, turning his body to look at the jury box to his right. He twisted his body and craned his neck. He leaned forward in his chair, reading along with a jury questionnaire and titling back in his seat and pulling the survey close to his face. He barely moved for more than an hour, shoulders tight and leaning forward against the table in front of him, while one of his attorneys argued against prosecuted judging up past allegations of fraud and sexual abuse. When his attorney and prosecutors shared a laugh about the busted microphone, he sat stone faced when a juror said the former president was not her cup of tea. He huffed, shook his head, crossed his arm tightly and leaned in his chair. It looks it took less than 2 days for the judge overseeing the case to warn defendant Trump against intimidating the juror before him when he was caught gesticulating and audibly commenting about one of the jurors. I won't tolerate it. I will not have any juror intimidated in this courtroom, Judge Merchant told him on Tuesday. I want to make that crystal clear to the still loads there to read, but that shows you how Mr. Trump has been behaving in court so far, and it's now time for him to change his attitude or his behavior. He can no longer call jurors by the names. He can no longer make comment on them or on the court. He will be in trouble. So you just have to sit quiet and wait for the verdict. If possible, Mr. Trump, well, he has to be there. He cannot pardon himself. He has to be there. Yeah. So time and time again, he'll come out there and say how the trial is a parody, the trial is driven by the Democrats, Joe Biden's attempt to eliminate him as a political rival and stuff. That is Mr. Trump's defense. That is the best defense he's got. Now, tell me what you think in the comment section below. What do you think about Donald Trump? You and his trial. Is he going to respect the ruling of the judge, the instruction given? Or Trump being Trump, we can expect him to be doing some silly stuff. The ball is in your camp. Go down the comment section below, and the debate continues there. You can you can also like, share, and subscribe for more. See you in the next video. That was Mr. D from Top TV. That's the ultimate live podcast TV. Follow us for more.